Hey, this is Seth with In Demand Career. I show people how to get life-changing jobs in digital marketing with no previous experience or education. And that includes my very special guest today, Harvinder, who was a stay-at-home mom when she found my course. And after she did everything I teach and applied it, she got a $60,000 a year remote PPC job that she is working at now. It's a very exciting story. I'm very excited to share her transformation with you. Thanks so much for being here, Harvinder.
Thank you, Seth. It's a pleasure finally to meet you.
Same here. Same here. So why don't you tell people a little bit about your job that you're doing right now?
So right now I'm just doing basically PPC work and I'm making 60K at my first job.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. And why don't you tell people a little bit about, you said you were a stay-at-home mom and now you have this great remote job. How did you, what was your life like when you found the course?
I had a small baby at that time when I first found your course. So I was juggling, trying to see if I can find time to study or not and be able to take care of my kids at the same time and my family life. At that time, it didn't seem feasible, but as the time passed and my kids, started school and everything, so I decided to go ahead and take the course. And I studied while they were in school, and with pandemic, they were home. So it was a little challenge, but I put my time and effort into, especially during the summertime when they were home from school. They understood the fact that mommy needed to study. So I kind of really dived in during the summertime, the 2 months that they're home. And then after that, I applied whatever Seth had taught us in the course in terms of how to create the resumes, how to go about finding jobs, I've seen some of the mock interviews that Seth had done with some of the people. So it kind of gave me a little confidence. And I just started applying for jobs. And I think I did about for like a month and a half. I applied for jobs and I landed one. It was just wonderful because it was the day I had the interview, that same day, within like 5 minutes, they called me and they said that they want to hire me. And what they offered on the table was my mouth was just wide open. I was like, wow, really? Like, yeah, we want to give you this much, 60K. Would you be able to start? How soon will you be able to start? And I was super excited. And I just said yes, yes, yes to everything. And then I just couldn't just, it didn't get to me that I actually landed a job. Now, when I share my story with my family and friends, they're so surprised, they're so happy. And I have some of them who actually want to try and see if they can get into digital marketing themselves.
That's so lovely. I'm changing the perspective here so we can have a little more back and forth, but that's so great. I know you just lit up. I know we were having some technical difficulties and you were telling me this, and it was really exciting to hear the passion in your voice. But I want to get into it too, because I mean, you have a unique background. You were a stay-at-home mom, and you had a background in accounting, I believe.
Yes.
And so you had obviously no digital marketing experience.
None whatsoever.
So yeah, so what was it like applying for the jobs? Like that's what people really want to know. So like you did everything in the course, like you put together the resume, you did the projects. Like
Yes.
were you getting, like, I want to get to the hiring, but I kind of want to get to the build up to it. Like
Sure.
were you getting other interviews? Did you interview at other companies?
Yes, I did. I did interview in other companies. There were a lot of, in a week, I would send like 20 resumes. And it was funny how I was getting calls every other day to set up interviews. Sometimes, some days, I had like 3 interviews and I would get all nervous and everything. And this one just happened. It just happened.
That's so cool. So we'll get more into how it quote unquote just happened. I'm sure it didn't just happen because it sounds like you did a lot of hard work and you also practiced. All those interviews you guys do before you get the job, it's all practice, and you need
Yes.
that. That's why I tell people to kind of
Yeah.
like, it's okay if you bomb or you feel like you didn't do that good. What was it like for you being? I don't know. You said you were kind of shy. What was it like for you to do the interviews, and did the mock interviews in the course help you?
Yes, I am a very shy person. It definitely took some courage to uh, have interviews, especially through Google Meets nowadays. It was a bit of a challenge, but I just the mock interviews which Seth had on his platform, they helped me to get my confidence in how to answer the questions that the employers were asking, because I felt when I was getting interviewed, um, I felt I was like just not doing too well, you know?
That's
And
something everybody experiences, and you might even be feeling it now, but just because it's normal, you're being interviewed, we're
yeah,
on YouTube, it's normal. But you're doing great, and obviously you did great in the interviews. Everyone has that little voice in their head. I still have that, from time to time when I do videos, much less than I used to, but you kept going, and I'm glad you utilized the mock interviews so that it gave you some framework to articulate yourself.
yes.
Um, so were there, and I'm curious, were there any other job offers, or was there like some other company you kind of wanted to work for as well, or was this the first one where it was just kind of magical?
No, I had other job interviews. There was one, actually, on a couple of them, I went on the second rounds, and but I got rejections, which didn't hurt me, honestly, because it was a learning process. That's how I took at it, as a learning process.
Yeah. You,
Um,
you want to have that attitude, guys, because I've been rejected. Everyone gets rejected. Every athlete in every sport, nobody's 1,000% of anything. Even you know, um, the best quarterback. Tom Brady's not 1,000%. Michael Jordan's not 1,000%. You gotta accept that you're not going to get every job, but you're going to get the right job like you did.
yeah.
So why don't we fast forward then? So what was it like in the actual job interview? What kind of questions did they ask you? Because obviously you didn't have much experience, but they were so excited to work with you. Like, how did the interview actually go?
The interview actually went very smooth, and I was kind of surprised. Basically, what I had on my resume, what I did, how I got my experience, those were the questions which were asked. So I basically studied my resume, to be quite honest, for the interviews. So because it's easier to interview with someone if you know what you did. You might have it in your head, or you might have it on a piece of paper, but it's really hard at the very moment when you're being interviewed. So I really studied my resume, and I made sure I had the correct dates in my head. I actually put little sticky notes around my computer uh, that helped me answer some of the questions that they had questioned me, especially about how did I first get my internship, um, how did I learn my experience that I got from the internships, the course I took. So
So yeah, so people want to know, like, so what did you? They asked you about that. What did you say? Did you tell them about my course? Did you tell them that you were generating your own experience?
I told them that I did what the course had, the, the assignments that the course had offered. I did all those assignments. I went step by step. And then when I registered on Acadium, and I got my first break as an intern from there for a small business based in Missouri. And the manager over there was really cool. She helped me uh, put up ads for their business. that's how I learned how to do PPC from there.
That's how it happens. That's how it happens. And
Yep.
so and now I'm just curious, was the job posting that you applied to, like, what did it say? Like, how many years experience did they want?
Which job? The current job that I have?
Yeah, the one that you
Um,
have.
Actually, I got this from a recruiter. I got it through a recruiter. I had applied to the job posting that the recruiters had posted, and it did not say that it was entry level job or a full time job. It just said that it was a small contract job, and it listed the requirements for it, especially the PPC part. And I thought, I could do it. They said as long as you know um, how to post ads on Facebook and on Instagram, we are interested in speaking with you. So I just posted it, and I didn't know that it was going to be a recruiter calling me about this job. So when the recruiter called, she said that, oh, I have an entry level job post, and would you be interested? I said, oh, sure, definitely I would be interested. And she forwarded my resume to the hiring manager, and the very next day they scheduled an interview with me, and we just basically discussed what was on my resume, how I got my experience, and that's how I landed this job.
Very well said. Very well said. Um, and so what's it been like since you've been hired? Like what's it like working at this job? Do you enjoy it?
I love it. I love it. When I compare it to my other jobs that I've held in my prior career, um, back in the days, but I think this is like the most job, fun field to be in every day. It's new, it's challenging, but it's there's so much to learn, and people are so nice, especially when you get hired. They know, and they don't expect you to be a pro at this field, so they teach you. That's what I like. They teach you, and they give you that time to study. If I don't know. My job currently, they said that if I need to take more courses, I need to study, go do so. We will pay for it. Not a problem. We want you to be comfortable. We want you to know that we are with you in this, and we understand that digital marketing changes constantly. And don't worry if we you know if we don't get it at the first try or the second try. Don't worry about it. They said that when they try uh, to post ads and they go back after 2 months to do it themselves, they forget. So it's totally cool. They're totally fine with it. You learn as you grow. You learn as you go.
Yeah, that's really beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm happy you're so happy. What kind of company is this that you're working for? Are you at an agency or are you at a private company?
It's agency.
Okay, so this is it sounds like a great culture.
Yes.
They, as I tell you guys, they're looking for people that know the language, and they will train you. They will help support you because you're an asset. They're investing in you, Harvinder, because they know that the more education you get and experience you get, the more accounts you're going to be able to handle in the future,
Yes.
and that's money for them. So it's a give and take. Um, what's it been like for your family or your friends? What do they think of it? What does your husband think? What do your kids think?
My husband, when I first told him that I got a job, he was kind of skeptical. He just didn't believe when I told him I got the job. He said, "You're kidding me, right?" And he was throwing numbers like, "What, 20K? What, 30K job?" And when I showed him the offer letter, I said, "No, it's not 20 or 30, it's 60." He was all shocked. We were all happy. We all celebrated. And now when I tell my friends who are stay-home moms themselves, they too want to do something with themselves, not just not just be home, or they don't want to go back to the careers um, that they had, because either they didn't enjoy it or too many hours that took away their time from the family. They said that, this is wonderful that you can actually, that there is a career that exists where you can actually apply for jobs from home, and it's flexible, where we as females can juggle with our family life and career, uh, and be at the same place for everyone.
So, well, tell us a little bit about the flexibility. What are the working hours like? What's the culture like at the company?
Uh, the working hours, I usually start at 9 and end at 5, but they said that as long as I complete the work, it's totally okay with them. If I have something else to do, just let them know that, I have something else to do. The work is completed, and I'm around if you need me to do something, which is so nice, because as a mom, there are so many things during the day that needs to be done. So it's quite nice. Everyone understands that there is a life besides work life.
Yeah, absolutely. That's one of the biggest things about this field that's so great. And I do think it's a great field for single mothers, or not, sorry, not single mothers, stay at home mothers. So are your kids at home right now, or are they in I don't even know. Are they in school? I guess they're on vacation now, right?
They're on vacation right now from Christmas. Yeah.
Okay. But normally, are they around? Like you have to take care of them, or do some mothering during the day?
Well, during the day, no, they usually they go to the school, and when they're done, they come home. And after I'm done at 5 o'clock, my kids have other activities where I need to take them to. So it's so much easier. I don't have to drive from a job to come home and then take them. I'm home. I can, do more than one activity with the kids, which my kids are really happy about. So that's the flexibility that I get.
Yeah, that's so great. I mean, I'm not a stay-at-home mom myself, if you didn't know, but I've heard tell that it's so much work with all the driving,
Yeah,
especially if you have more than one kids, or maybe you have to do a carpool and you have to pick up your kids' friend, your kids' friends, or you
yeah,
know, it's just like a second job,
yeah,
or like your main job. So it's really cool that you're at home all day, and it's much more like a better work-life balance.
yeah.
um so, and by the way, guys, Harvinder actually lives near where I grew up, which I thought was really cool. um where do you live?
I live in Syracuse, New York.
Syracuse, New York. So I grew up in Utica, New York, and you live near Canastota, right?
Onondaga County. I'm in Onondaga County near Canastota, which is like 10 minutes away. And Utica is about 40 minutes away from me.
Right.
My
And I
husband
grew up in,
works in my husband works in Rome.
okay, Utica, Rome, Central New
Yes.
York, Mohawk Valley. That's where I grew up there until I was like 13. Then I moved to Rochester. And one of the great things, I have had a couple of students. Actually, I just interviewed. His name is escaping me right now, but he does SEO for Lego, and
Hmm.
he lives in Rochester, and it's on the tip of my tongue. But I'm excited to see people from upstate New York getting remote jobs, because not just upstate New York, but um, all over the country, there's places like that. Upstate New York is known as the Rust Belt. Do you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, upstate New York is traditionally known as the Rust Belt, which is kind of a derogatory term, because
Uh-huh.
it was a thriving place in like the 40s and the 50s. And
Hmm.
now then it turned into more like Springfield from The Simpsons. It was kind of more like these sort of rundown mid-sized cities, and there isn't much industry there. And Kodak was in Rochester, and now it was destroyed, and there
Yeah,
just wasn't much going on. When I grew up in the 90s and the 2000s, I went back to live in my hometown. There's no jobs, or very few. There's not much happening. And so the fact that these remote jobs are happening now and people from upstate New York or the Midwest or places that are outside of a big city can get a great paying, engaging, creative analytical job is unbelievable. I wish that it had existed when I was living there.
I'm so happy that there are more jobs in remote, and especially in this field. Because when I was looking for a job in my own field, back in the days in accounting, it was so difficult. I applied to see if I could get it from home, and I was not able to. And this is the only field where I felt excited about, and I was able to accomplish my goals, get a remote
Yeah,
job, and deal with the family life too at the same time, and be with my kids.
absolutely. That is so wonderful. There's so many people that would love to have that. And again, it's part of the field now. And even, even 2 years ago, actually, people would always ask me, can you get a remote job in digital marketing? And back then it was more common than in accounting, but it still wasn't that common. Now it's very, very common. It's just
Yeah.
become part of the culture.
Yeah.
So I think that's great. And I think it's also great, guys, because you can see you don't have to be like a terrific salesperson. This isn't like about hustling. It's just about learning the skills, providing value, and these companies need people. And it doesn't, we've interviewed people from so many different backgrounds. I think it's really cool that, that you're a stay-at-home mom and that you have that accounting background and now you're doing something totally different.
Yes, this is very exciting field, and I think not just for stay-home moms, anyone. It could be, it can be a grandma. It could be a grandpa. They want to do something from home. Sure, this field is for everyone. I would say, not just for newcomers, not just for new students who don't want to go to college. This field is for everyone. It's not one. What there's a saying, uh, one
One
fit.
size
Yeah,
One size fits all. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Well, I look at it like this because I do get emails from people who are maybe a little bit older too. And I just say this, it's all about your attitude and your aptitude. That's
yeah,
my standard response. I know people in their 50s who work in this field and they are high energy people who think quickly. And it's just about what can you contribute and what's your energy level. You
right.
have to think quickly. You have to be willing to learn. You have to have a good attitude. You do have to be tech savvy. That is important, correct?
You do. Actually, I was not very good with technology. I told myself, if I can learn how to do, work on smartphone, then I can do this. So that's the approach I took. I said, if I can do this, then I can do this. And I think you need to have a roadmap, for yourself. If you're going to get into something, play around. Trust yourself, trust your instinct that you can do it. It's not that hard. It's just a matter of practice and time. You take the time, you do, you practice, and you can accomplish anything.
That is great attitude. That is great advice. And I can see, I mean, that's also inspiring for people because when I say tech savvy, again, what I tell people is, I'm not a coder. This isn't about coding. Coding is very sophisticated, it's very technical. Not everybody can do it. But this field is creative, it's analytical. You do need to know how to use a computer. You do need to be able to navigate
Yes,
online interfaces. If you're like, what's an email? Then it's
yes.
probably not for you. But if you have that baseline, like, I mean, you're a great example of what's possible. And so yeah. So is there anything else? I really appreciate you sharing your story with us. I think it's very inspiring. And is there anything else you want to say to me or to anyone watching the interview before we finish up?
I want to let everyone know, if you put the hard work in, no shortcuts. No shortcuts, please. But because if you do shortcuts, you'll not succeed. You have to take this course very seriously if you really want to land a job. Make sure you listen to what Seth teaches in the course, do the assignments, follow the course from the top to bottom, to the T, and I think you will succeed. There is no doubt in my mind. If I can do it, you can do it.
That's lovely. That's lovely. Uh, well, it's been great talking with you, Harvinder, and let's stay in touch. I'm excited to see what you're doing in the next year or so, and it's great to have you as part of our community. I love, my community guys in my course, people like Harvinder. They get the jobs, and then they become experts. They come back into the group and help newcomers. So, look out for her in the Facebook group. You already didn't you already post an internship opportunity for people?
Yes, that's an open internship. It will never close. So that's something that uh, it's not just now, in the future too. If anyone wants to gain experience in SEO, please reach out to me, and I'll make sure that your resume gets to the CEO, because I have built this really wonderful relationship with the company and the CEO, that it this is a different company that I do an internship, and I do it for free because I want to get
Right,
the experience. I want to learn, and I want to help pay for my friends, my fellow students, my fellow friends who have helped me when I was taking the course and I had questions. So I want to help whoever needs help. Please reach out to me, and I'll do my best in getting you guys SEO experience to the best of my ability. And I'm hoping myself that next year in 2020 to open up my own small little private company where I do the freelancing work. And if it's going to be okay with Seth, then I would definitely like students to come and explore. uh, I will give them projects and say, here's a new client. If you want to work on it, get experience, go ahead. This is a real client. So I want to offer something like that in the group for people.
that's
That's my goal.
wonderful. That's wonderful. And by the way, guys, just to be clear, she's referring to my students, and I'm sure, and what I usually do, if you haven't taken the course yet, you can reach out to Harvinder. People can reach out to you on LinkedIn and ask you questions about the course, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So that's one thing. And then when it comes to the internship and these opportunities, this is for the people in the course. This is the community that I've built that I'm so excited about. It's like, again, I don't really even do that much. People like you come along, you get so inspired that you want to give back. And so now, yeah, she already posted in the Facebook group and already has people taking advantage of that internship. And I have no doubt that next year you will have your own agency and you'll be able to help students in 2022 or 2023 get their experience and then keep paying it forward. So,
Yes, that's
yeah,
my
guys,
that's my
and
goal.
yeah. And yeah, so if you're one of my students and you're watching this and you haven't connected with Harvinder in the Facebook group or seen her, now, you can reach out to her. And then again, if you haven't taken the course, you can also reach out to her and ask her any questions, no matter what your background. And definitely, if you're a stay-at-home mom, I would definitely think you guys would have a lot in common to talk about. Is there anything you'd like to say to me before we end the talk?
Well, I really wanted to thank you, Seth, for building this course. It's been a life changer for not just me, but I believe for everyone who's taking this course. And I wish everyone the best.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Well, you're welcome. You're so welcome. Thanks for coming on here and sharing your story. I love doing this. I love teaching. I love helping people. And yeah, this is awesome. So I know you have the week off from work, so enjoy your vacation. And then I'm super psyched for you to get back to a job that you love.
Thank you. Thank you.